Well, hey, Ben, it's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel. Now, let's go ahead and get into Married to Medicine Reunion Part 1. All right, y'all, let me just go ahead and be honest. It was a struggle for me to get through this reunion part 1. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like some of the stuff they was arguing and bickering about, I was so confused. Like, why is this the hot topic? and for me, it just made me feel like, okay, this how you know they ain't really have SHI going on. Like, Quad, you really mad at Toya for talking about you was renting your apartment when that was the truth at the time? What was the press about it? Well, I understand she kept calling it an apartment, but it was a townhome. And it's like, okay, you was renting it. It wasn't no mansion. It wasn't no house like what you got now. So, I mean, it was just irritating. But we're going to go ahead and get into this reunion the best way that we can, honey. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this, which is what they gave us in the beginning, checking on each lady. Let's cut this and get straight into Toya and Anila, okay? Now, Anila's home is finished, but Toya has not been by yet. Don't be too pressed, Toya, because her mama ain't been by there either, okay? Her husband wants to get everything more organized before the mama decides she wants to show up, okay? She's asked about her home being over budget because y'all know she spent $3 million, which was way over the budget. Anila says that she was just joking when she would be around and saying, like, okay, the house is over budget, it's way over the budget, but when you would hang out and stuff, it's like, oh, girl, I'm paying for my house. Oh, I know I got to pay them, but I'm buying a house too. You know, I'm building a house. It was always an excuse she would use, you know what I'm saying, to kind of opt out of paying somebody. So she says that she was just joking when she was speaking on hair and makeup and stuff. And, yeah, you know, I'm using that as a joke as though she didn't have money and stuff. So then Toya says that she has text messages to confirm that Anila ain't paid them people on time. And Anila said, girl, you got text messages, honey, but I got receipts. And then Toya said, okay, well, then you pull yours up and I'm going to pull mine up with you. So Anila presented her receipts showing that she indeed paid her hair and makeup individuals, okay? Andy was even concerned because he was like, girl, my people did your makeup and stuff today, so you going to make sure they got paid? And she was like, yeah, all of that squared away, right? So Toya pulls out the receipts. You know, Anila's receipt showed that she definitely paid for the services. But Toya is like, yeah, but I got text messages of screenshots from what people sent you saying that you have yet to pay them. So yeah, your receipts may show that you have paid them now, but what I'm speaking to you is about you not paying them in time originally. That's the main issue. And then Anila was like, girl, don't go there with me because you already you're working with this person for 8 years and have yet to give them any type of raise. And Toya had no comeback for that. So I guess that, you know, that may be true. But I also feel like I don't fully fault Toya on that. I kind of feel like I fought the makeup artist because at some point you should have elevated your services as well, especially when you started doing makeup people hair. I mean, celebrity people makeup and hair. Like, you know, everybody does that. Once they get their first celebrity client, girl, they be trying to raise the prices so high, but that's on them if they chose not to raise their prices. Like, I know we have a rapport, but listen, my prices are starting to go up, so you'll now have to pay me X, Y, Z. So that's not fully, in my opinion, on Toya. I feel like some of that is on the artist itself. So then, you know, with Anila being the blogger that she is, Andy was like, go around and tell me everybody's collection. Who would you say? The two that stood out for me was Bridal Entanglement Collection for Contessa. Okay, and then she gonna call Toya the U-Haul Collection. Toya said, be careful. Be careful, okay? And that was funny to me because I'm like, Toya, you saying that to Anila like you got some tea on Anila or something, telling her to be careful. Girl, and who are you to tell this lady to be careful when you been around here talking about this lady to other people? No, ma'am, okay? So she gave you the U-Haul Collection, and I am tickled about it, all right? Heavenly decides to jump in and tells Toya that she can't be blunt and frank with people. Heavenly girl, speaking of Heavenly, let me go ahead and let y'all know while we on Heavenly that the Ooh Ladies First panel that I'm a part of along with J. Lee's Corner, Niecy Dixon, and Bondi Blue, we will be on Bondi's channel live tomorrow with Heavenly. Y'all go ahead and get into those details, okay? Go ahead and get into those details. We would love for you guys to join us on tomorrow as we interview Dr. Heavenly. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time, okay? So y'all come on over there and check us out. But Heavenly decided to let Toya, like, you know that you can't be blunt and you can't be frank. And I'm like, Heavenly, scoot back, moonwalk to the back, girl. Because listen, you do the same SHI. And see, that's why you and Toya be at each other like this, because y'all damn near the same person. Y'all do operate from selfish spaces, like y'all don't care what nobody else has to say. And Heavenly, there's been plenty of times with you being on this show where you didn't give a what you say. You still cross your own good girl Quad, and then you turn around and say y'all have some type of understanding of each other. You still say sideways things about Quad and about Quad's business, even put things out there that actually don't be true. And Quad be like, why would she say that? Because now you got everybody thinking this and that about me. So with that being said, you can't say that about Toya because you do it too. And if that's the case, then both of y'all are the same BIT. Okay, that's just what I think. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. Even Andy had to speak up and say something about it. He was trying to get his 2 cents in. Like, Heavenly Girl, you are the last one that want to talk about being frank and blunt. Okay. That's who you are. That's all that you are. You're a frank and blunt person. It is what it is. Okay. That's why I was so proud of Heavenly this season, because she didn't do those things. Okay. At least she tried her best not to do those things. All right. Anila goes on to talk to Toya about how Toya was treating her like a puppet, which made other people call her a puppy. And Toya said, you're not gonna blame me for what they chose to call you. Sorry, I was with Toya on that. I kind of felt like you're right. You're right. Like, Heavenly chose to call you that because that's what Heavenly wanted to call you. Heavenly said, oh, well, you know, everybody was saying it. So, you know, I just said it out loud. Everybody was saying it. Okay, everybody may have been saying it, but you was the one that said it. You know what I'm saying? So that's on you. So she over here, I do think Anila was placing the blame in the wrong space. Okay, Simone decides to speak up in support of Toya and speak on how she doesn't always do things appropriately, but she has a big heart. So when I saw this, to me, it made me think about how Jackie goes to bat for Heavenly. I feel like Simone is treating Toya how Jackie treats Heavenly, always feeling the need to speak up for her and defend her and stuff. So nobody on that set should feel any kind of way when Simone decided to speak up for Toya, because Jackie does that often for Heavenly. So much so that that's the reason she has friction in the friendship that she has with Dr. Simone right now. So we'll go ahead and move on with that. Okay, now Toya at the end of the day definitely apologized to Anila for her actions, and they decided to hug it out. And you can tell that they definitely miss each other, but honestly, I still don't think they friends, girl. I still don't think they friends. Now, it sucks, you know, but I think with Anila and Toya having issues that they're having, I feel like because of that, we might see Anila on the show again. But who knows? You know, who knows? It's interesting. Buffy didn't come back, even though I thought Buffy had a good season, but I guess since she had an issue with the Queen Bee, which is Dr. Jackie, honey, she was not going to be returning. Good night. But since Anila got issue with little old Toya, she may be coming back. We'll see. But anyway, Miss Quad come out. Okay, Quad comes out being as extra as she is. Okay, now I'm gonna get to that when I get to this point. So anyway, Quad recently purchased a new home. She did put it like on social media and stuff. It looks like it's a really nice home. She says that it's a mansion. I say, is it a mansion? Is it a mansion or is it just a big ass house? Okay, then. All right. I guess it's a mansion, girl. If you said it's a mansion, girl, it's a mansion, period. All right. Quad recently purchased her new home. She said that it's in the city. So she also threw some shade and said, so I don't have to drive from the outskirts. You know, she was talking about Toya when she said that, girl. That's what she was talking about. So, well, really, she was throwing shade at quite a few ladies on the stage that live in the outskirts, okay, and not directly in the city. Andy asked Toya, what did she think about Quad? At her new home, no longer renting a home. And Toya said, girl, I don't think about it. That's the thing. I don't think about it at all. Toya says that when she did care about Quad renting a home, it was when Quad told her she was renting her townhome and then asked her about the homes in her neighborhood. And then Quad said, well, yeah, she's right. She's definitely right. But then she goes on to, you know, be upset and then talk about how she still didn't know an apartment from a townhome. And it's like, nobody gives a Quad. You're trying to make this a deal. You're trying to make this bigger than what it is. She didn't know an apartment from a townhome. Well, it ain't no house sitting on land, like a few acres that you own. Okay. So I didn't really understand. She was still pressed about it. And it's like, why are you so pressed about it when you've moved on up? Okay. You've moved on and you got a bigger home. Like it gave me Quad just wanting to have an issue with Toya. Okay. And it doesn't sound too far-fetched of Quad to me wanting to have an issue with Toya to make sure she secures a check, because that's what Heavenly was doing, creating an issue with Quad, according to Heavenly's own words, to make sure that Quad can be back on the show for another season. So that's the energy that it was giving me as far as Quad trying to have an issue with Toya about a damn house that Toya probably don't even really care about, for real, girl. Congratulations. Because in Toya's eyes, it's like, okay, if that's yours, it's fine. It still ain't as big as mine. So what else is going on? Anyway, Quad is asked about not regretting jumping to the gun when it came to Heavenly putting those emojis under her page because she went on Watch What Happens Live, and she was just like, I don't give it to you know what I'm saying. I'm fine with what it is that I said. I won't take nothing back because Heavenly always talking mess about me down to the YouTube, and so I said what I said, and I'm not taking it back. Well, when they asked her about whether or not she's going to be apologizing, Quad gets in this real professional tone. Well, let me tell you one thing. I am, Quad, I'm working on myself every single day, okay? And I am growing and I'm learning. And when Quad gets in this real overly professional tone of voice, all I hear are lies, in my opinion, okay, Quad? Girl, when you do that, I just be thinking you be lying. I really do. Like, she just like, that's the voice where it's like, I'm working on me, I'm doing this and doing that. I'm like, why are you working on yourself, girl? Just stop. Okay. Whenever she gets in that professional tone, she lying. Let's go on. Okay. They spoke on Heavenly and Quad, and their on and off issues. And that's when Heavenly said, oh, she's like my sister, and I understand her at times. And I'm like, girl, y'all are frenemies. You don't have to call it that. You don't, but you guys are definitely frenemies, okay? and Contessa said it perfect. She was like, I feel like when it comes to Heavenly and Quad, they have so many issues under the surface that as soon as one little thing happens, they bring everything to the forefront, and it's a big blowout or whatever. So I feel like Contessa worded that perfectly. So when Contessa worded that lets me know that you guys are frenemies. Yeah, so y'all can cut the shit. That's just what I think, okay? Simone says, I'm not, okay, so then that's when Simone says, listen, you always hold grudges, Quad. That's been your history. That's what we've seen. You've always been a person that holds grudges. So to see you get over what Heavenly said about you so quickly, that was very interesting. Now, before I go into Quad's response, I don't think that honestly was so interesting that Quad got over that. Yes, Quad definitely holds grudges. That's a fact. Especially when she feels like she's at a higher level than people, especially when she was with Sister Circle. She felt like those girls meant more to her than you guys did. Yes. But some part of me feels like Heavenly, this is a part of the frenemy, right? I feel like Heavenly has shown herself to be more of a friend at times to Quad than a lot of y'all, which made it easier for Quad to get over some of the things that they had, been through. When she went through her divorce and y'all went on that beach trip or whatever, everybody exchanging gifts and stuff, Heavenly considered Quad and made sure that her friend didn't feel left out and gave her something, let her know, like, you can count on me or whatever. So I feel like that's why. So it shouldn't be interesting that she was able to forgive Heavenly because they have that frenemy type of friendship, unfortunately. So then Quad goes on to do these rehearsed reads talking about some, no, because see, I'm not going to let you put that toe tag on me. And then Simone said, baby, ain't nobody putting no toe tag on you, honey. Nobody's putting a toe tag on you, girl, okay? She said, well, I'm just letting you know the girls are not dead. And I'm like, what is all of this extraness that you're presenting at this time? Like, girl, you're doing the most. She's talking about everybody holds grudges. Yeah, everybody does, but we're specifically talking about you in this moment and how you are in this moment, okay? That's what we're talking about, okay? Nobody else's grudges have been called into question at this time. The only other grudge right now, I feel, is Simone and Jackie, okay? So, yeah, we talk about the grudge you got with Heavenly, though. But, okay, then. So, Quad is asked about dating. She says she's dating a few people, honey. And then she said that, what's her name? Anila about to add another one to the stable. One of the guys is actually a doctor, and he looks very good. So we're going to see how this works out for Miss Quad, okay? See if she'll get somebody and maybe be able to bring them onto the show next season. We'll see. Because obviously, they're not going to let Miss Quad go, okay? If they love them some Quad, they're going to keep Quad on the show. It is what it is, okay? Let's go ahead and get to Toya. Toya, they do a playback of her actions throughout the season. She could barely speak to it because she's about to dang cry. She said it was hard for her to watch all of that. She speaks on going through a lot and none of the ladies being there for her. All of the ladies say that they were going through a lot at that time. I think the pandemic put a lot of people through a lot of things, okay? But I also feel like for Toya, maybe she has been calling and checking up on y'all more than what she normally do, and nobody has been doing that for her. And that's probably just all that she wanted, just to have, people check up on her, have more friend support than what she's typically gotten. But I think also Toya don't understand that over time, people are going to slowly stop effing with you based on how you presented yourself to them with these attitudes and stuff. What else happened? Heavenly starts cussing Toya out when she was talking. She didn't want to hear anything she had to say. She tells Toya to stop talking all of that BS because she is selfish and cares about nobody. And I'm like, you get like that at times too, Heavenly. Okay. But what else happened? So Dr. Jackie says that Toya is generalizing her behavior, and all they're seeking is accountability. And what Jackie was trying to say is accountability looks like saying, hey, you know, I was wrong for these actions and I apologize for these things right here, these, you know, 5 or however many things. That's what she feels it should look like. Simone says that she believes that Toya just wants friendship and camaraderie. Okay, so I feel like not just the friendship itself. I feel like Toya wants support. She wants to feel like she's not going through stuff by herself, even though I don't know, I guess she is, but she really not. But she just wants to feel more of the support from the friend group that she has. Because I feel like she already got the friendship. But okay, so Toya is asked about her home and why she's putting it up for sale. And Toya is saying, which I do not believe, Toya is saying that everybody in the neighborhood is getting $1 million and more off of their home for selling it. So she wants to get in that number when the Saints go marching in. And when it comes to Anila, she says her moving out of her home or wanting to sell her home has nothing to do with Anila. It could, but I'm going to say it doesn't have nothing to do with Anila. We all know that Toya's history has always been financial issues. So I would not be surprised if she wants, you know what I'm saying? She wants that extra money to pay off some stuff, okay? That's probably what she wants. If she could sell the house and get an extra $1 million, she may be able to go and build another dream home and not have to owe so much money, if that makes sense. So if she had to build that house for $2 million, she sold it for $3 million, $2 million or however many left gonna go to the bank. She gonna come up on $1 million. Then she probably gonna go and be able to probably build the home that she wants and not have to owe so much back. So, I mean, it's probably a very strategic financial plan as to why she's doing this. So we'll see, okay? We'll see, honey, how this gonna go, because she definitely was talking about it being her dream home. How do you build your dream home and then all of a sudden you don't want to be in your dream home anymore? What is that? Yeah, that doesn't sound right. But okay, then she used the excuse of wanting to be near her son's schools more. And I'm like, girl, them boys ain't even gonna be in school in a minute. Girl, get the hell out of here with that. But okay then, Toya. Simone is asked about her, they asked about the pandemic, and Simone says that the pandemic has made her sex life that much better, okay? Andy is asked about Toya and Quad kissing. Heavenly says that she hasn't gotten kissed by Quad yet. She wanted to get a quick kiss. Quad was gonna go over there and give her a kiss, and then she said, I love daddy. Y'all gonna sit down. Okay, don't trick me into that. Okay, and then they ended up getting Heavenly and Toya to make up, and how they made up was by way of a kiss. It was supposed to be a kiss on the cheek, but Toya ended up kissing Heavenly on the lips, and Heavenly didn't know what to do with herself after that. I'm tickled. So when it came down to Contessa and Scott, what Contessa does that gets on my nerves, she never likes to just say what it is, okay? When she was on Watch What Happens Live, she was doing so much talking, but then restricting herself from talking and saying that Quad can speak on that. What is that about? Just say what it is. Just say what it is. Do you think you're going to get in trouble by your husband? Something like, girl, just call it a thing. It is what it is, okay? Contessa is asked if she believes that Scott has been cheating. She said, today I don't. In the past, here she go, going around the entire world to make a point. She says, I feel like in the past, he may have had inappropriate conversations. And even then, she didn't want to say inappropriate conversations. Just say, yes, I believe in the past he has operated in as far as cheating. I do believe that he may have cheated on me, and I definitely believe that he's been carrying on inappropriate conversations. It just has to be that simple. She likes to go around things, okay? Which also, anyway, I just get tired of Contessa doing that. So let's move on, okay? Scott is in the back talking about some ain't nothing inappropriate if you know who I'm talking to. And I'm like, I understand where you're coming from, Scott, but based on how those conversations go, it still could end up being inappropriate. You know, she may know that, oh, you're talking to your friend Cindy from work, and she may not feel threatened by Sydney, but on the other side, you may be having certain conversations with this lady that Contessa may not deem appropriate. Okay, so then Simone says that she don't give a what Cecil was talking about if it made her feel a way about it, and she knew that she was not doing that same behavior to him. So if I'm telling you I'm having a problem and I'm not doing anything to you for you to have that similar problem, you need to take heed to what it is that I'm saying, and you need to drop this. So then Contessa is like, well, how do you get him to listen to you? And then you have Toya saying, you know, hold him to accountability or something like that, hold him accountable. And then Simone says, what worked for me was a divorce. Okay, I had to file for a divorce for him to hear what it is that I was saying, because he didn't hear me for 5 years. Okay, so that's where they were with that. what else happened? So then Jackie says that she is confused about what Contessa says to Scott, because that may be something that confuses Scott, because at one moment she's talking about how he makes her so sad, and or however he's putting her through it, and then next thing you know, they look like they so happy, I guess. And then someone else, I believe Anila, called it out like, you know, you were so upset with him and everything, and then the very next day you leave and you're on a trip and you're smiling and you're happy-go-lucky and life is grand. And Contessa said, well, the reason it's like that is because I'm a married woman and I also have children by this man, so you know. Yeah, you know, so she gets on the defense about that. But the ladies were trying to tell her, like, no, we understand that relationships go through their things, but when you do that, it comes off as though you didn't have the conversation with him that you needed to have with him. So y'all not getting nowhere. But in Contessa's defense, I feel like he doesn't ever want to have the conversation with her. Y'all see how quick, as soon as the conversation goes left, he tells her to calm down, or he'll leave the room because he doesn't want to have the conversation. So it's hard for her to have those conversations. So it's like, hey, at the end, let me at least just enjoy the moment. Let me have a good time with him, because my kids still have to see this, and it's about their memories more so than it is about mine. Okay. Andy asked her if she's thought about divorce. Quad, not quad, but here go Contessa again. I mean, each lady on this stage could attest to that, you know, and I appreciate you ladies not speaking on that. But, you know, they can tell you. And it's like, why you can't tell him? We're asking you. You tell. This is your story. This is your life. You tell us what's going on. So then Quad opens up her mouth and says, yeah, she has, girl. Let's just cut to the, okay. She has filed for a separation against this man. Scott in the back shaking up because he's like, I'm finna leave if this is where she finna go, because I thought, you know, we had already talked about this or whatever. So that's when the guys get ready to walk out so that Scott can have his words with Contessa to address her. And yeah, he said that this is a sneak attack. And I'm kind of like, how is it a sneak attack when you said that you thought that y'all kind of talked about it, or y'all made like a decision about it or something? So how is this a sneak attack? I don't know. Like, you already knew it was something that was on the table. So I don't understand what he means by that. But it is what it is. Okay, that is all that I got for Married to Medicine. Okay, keep in mind, we will be interviewing Dr. Heavenly Kimes on Bonnie Blue's channel. That is tomorrow night, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, and also on Thursday, okay, on Jay Lee's Corner, we will be interviewing Ashley Forrester of season 1 of Put a Ring on It. Okay, so you guys be sure to join us for both of those. All right, I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram as well as Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.